Instacart is the story of the day, closing the day at $34 a share. That is up about 14% after the stock began trading Tuesday afternoon, opening at $42 a share on the NASDAQ. Certainly a strong debut that was a lot of investors really hoping for. It was interesting to have that conversation with one of Instacart's early investors today. Obviously, he got in at a good price point for the company, but even despite the strong debut, there's a lot of VCs out there that are looking at paper losses because it still didn't match that valuation of $39 billion in the private funding round.
Yeah, and the interesting part of Instacart too, Akiko, we were talking about how it was kind of a test of what were investors kind of emphasizing and valuing. Was it profit or growth? Because listen, Instacart, decent bottom line, but growth slowing. And Instacart will say, hey, listen, that's tough comps, that's inflation. But we know some analysts also saying maybe it's also competition creeping in because there's a lot of it for this name.
Yeah, we were showing that earlier. You know, it's not just about DoorDash, it's Uber Eats, many other delivery services that are out there getting into groceries, although the Instacart argument would be we're not just a grocery delivery service anymore. We have really expanded beyond that since the height of the pandemic when everybody was getting in on Instacart for those deliveries.
Yep, absolutely. We're moving on. Shares of AutoZone finishing the day in the red. The company reported a beat on the top and bottom line during the fourth quarter. Despite being the street's expectations, shares are following on the company's lower than expected growth in its domestic commercial business. This one was interesting, Akiko, because auto supplier, so reports, beats top and bottom. And we had some analysts on Yahoo Finance this morning who were saying, listen, overall, they thought the business looking healthy, but some signs of disappointment thought in the commercial side.
Yeah, it is about the domestic commercial sales coming up short. That's been behind the shares that we have seen moving today. Also, though, interesting to note that there's been some calls out there looking at the impact the UAW strike may have on AutoZone. That's sort of seen as a potential boost to the company. Replacement vehicles potentially being delayed as well with AutoZone and their parts. That could be a big beneficiary, but something to watch for in that stock. Shares of Rocket Lab sliding today after the satellite delivery company's latest rocket malfunction. Rocket Lab reported on Thursday that its Electron rocket failed following a successful liftoff from its New Zealand launch pad. Rocket Lab noted the Electron had previously delivered 171 satellites on 37 orbital missions, but that its next flight, currently scheduled for the end of the quarter, will be postponed and revised. Third quarter revenue guidance in the coming days. You know, we sort of call Rocket Lab a satellite delivery company, but they really are looking to expand beyond that to compete heavily with SpaceX. This is a huge setback for the company. We saw the stock moving back in a big way here, and now that third quarter launch at least sort of on hold as they really look to see what was behind that failed launch today.
You know, you live in LA, so I turn to you on all things Hollywood. And now after that fantastic documentary on the moon, I just turned to you on all things rocket and space.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, this is a company that's based in Long Beach, just outside of LA. But really, they have really been riding a lot of this momentum at a time when sort of investors have been laser focused on SpaceX. Yes, they have a massive lead, but Rocket Lab really sort of gaining on that. So, you know, that probably reflects even more what we saw today, why investors have pulled back. Certainly a big setback, but more to come.
Interesting.